Yeah, what is a recycling company actually doing as the third part in the value chain I can talk about? Especially if you look at plastic recycling companies, they have a very straightforward process, which you can find in most companies, which is that they take the input from a sorting plant, which usually comes in bales. These bales are opened, the material is then going to be washed, shredded, and then the polymers which are looked for in this recycling processes are usually, for instance, sorted out by a swim sink process, where the different density of different polymers are used in order to separate them. Then afterwards, the material is dried, pelletized, and then sold to customers. What is the challenge with this technically, or in principle, very straightforward process? The problem for a recycling company is that they have two unknown variables. The first unknown variable is, of course, the input composition they're going to expect at the input side. And the second question is that they have to have some experience with the output requirements for their products in order to know what the customers are looking for. And in order to start up a process like this is a big challenge because you have on both sides things you have to adjust. So it's a little bit like a catch-22 situation. So the advice would be, of course, to start with companies which are experienced in this recycling area, rather, for instance, by recycling commercial plastics and other types of material, or have some relation to output companies which are looking for potential input material. Another challenge, of course, is that as soon as you start your recycling operations, the material will continue to come on a 365 days per year basis. So this is a continuous stream, and it's not easy to stop and go with your production processes in order to, for instance, bridge a time when the customer demand is not that high. So the biggest challenge, of course, in this area is to find somebody who has some experience with these materials. And from an overall EPR system, it may at this point be interesting or a decision to make what type of plastics, for instance, are going to be focused in the first place for recycling. If you, for instance, take polyolefins, they are more easy to recycle, like polyethylene or polypropylene, or even things like PET, polyethylene terephthalate, or polystyrol, while film recycling, or especially mixed plastics recycling, is something which is a little bit bigger challenge, and especially, for instance, to get cement industry to get used to taking in mixed plastics as residue fuel for their input material is not always easy and takes a while. So you may have to consider that these type of processes may take a while to develop.